Hey guys, it is 11 degrees Celsius and look, I'm just in a sweater, that's it, like, with a t-shirt underneath and jeans, and it is beautiful out. Oh, I just don't want to leave the outdoors right now. I want to stay outside, but my mom's watching the kids right now inside, so that'll have to wait till later tonight. And she's supposed to drop down to negative 28 tonight, so this is going to be short-lived little hot spell, if you want to call it that. Okay, so it isn't lofting anymore. I know for a fact if I bring this inside in 10 minutes it'll be like super puffy, but I don't want that. I want it to stay out here and loft up. But I don't know, because I want to simulate how it would be if I'm on my long hike and I'm not going to have a nice warm area to take my bag and fluff it up. So I did keep it compressed in my bag overnight. Maybe that's why it's not lofting up as much as I want. Very, very weird. If anyone's wondering, this bag it goes down to minus 23 on its own. I do believe that's a survival rating and not a comfort rating. But yeah, I'm gonna bring my food bag in, get stocked up on something to eat for the night. Anything else that I should do? Is there anything else? Oh yeah, open the vents. Maybe that will loft the bag up a little more if I open these vents. I like how they give you these little toggles to roll it up so it's not hanging in the mud. We don't got mud right now, so I'm not too worried about it. And man, this is so much better now that it's taut. I'm very happy. Thank you to Paul. I went and looked your name up. I'm not going to say your last name, but you know who you are. And thank you very much for your tip, because it worked great. Worked great. Oh. The one thing, or one of the things that bugs me about this tent though, is there's no mesh here. So in the summertime, the mosquitoes, they're going to get in there like crazy. There is mesh on the inner tent right there, which will prevent mosquitoes from getting in the inner tent, but I don't really want them in the porch or the vestibule there either. But it is what it is. It didn't come with any mesh at the end. So that's that. The vents are open. We will let the bag loft for a few more hours. Right now, I do believe it's like 4 in the afternoon. So we'll see. And we're just at my house here. I'm not far from the house at all. I really want to test it in that minus 28 temperature, and I want to test it close to home just to make sure it can handle being on the road. And that's about it, guys, for now. I'll get back to you in a bit. Okay. Oopsie daisy. Oh, I gotta fix the focus. So, time to go out. Kids are all settled down. I just checked the temperature and it is minus 26. It's supposed to hit minus 27, and that's with wind chill within the next hour or two. And then from then on, it keeps dropping like a degree and a couple degrees every hour that passes. So by the time I wake up tomorrow, it should be sitting around minus 11 to minus 15, somewhere around that range. Should be. So I got my 1 jug of water, my little food bag, and a thermometer. So I got to be careful with this because it's for the house, but we'll be able to get an accurate temperature inside that tent, and that will be awesome. So I'm gonna finish my smoke and then I'm heading out the door. So here we are at the tent. Yes, I brought a Pepsi. I just something to drink throughout the night. So my bag, it does have the other sleeping bag in it, but it looks like it lofted up quite a bit more. I'm going to try the cheap bag in the expensive bag first. Or, well, for tonight. Just to see if I slide out like I do with the red bag in the cheap bag. So we are going to get all cozy in here and I'll be back in a flash. So, I'm in my sleeping bag right now. I busted out one of these little hand warmers. Ain't messing around. It's going straight down into my sock. Right off the hop. Just so I don't want to get cold. If I get cold, it's much harder to get warm. The little thermometer there says low. But if you push the button, it'll give you a temperature. And it's in Fahrenheit, so I'm not too sure what any of those temperatures are in Celsius. I didn't realize that is. Okay, got my sleeping bags all snuggled up. The sleeping mat feels warm. That's what we're testing tonight, is the exped and the tent again. Because I am going to be going on a decent hike. And it will be cold. And I want to know how to set this thing up efficiently. And be confident that I'm not going to freeze. What's even worse than freezing is tapping out and having to get my wife to come pick me up. So, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. Can't let the wifey know your weaknesses. Anyhow. So, cold weather tip of the night. If you want to keep water, or if you're worried about your water freezing at night, there's a couple things you can do. One is tip it upside down. And that way when it freezes, it'll freeze from the top down. Second is if you have a jet boil like me, fill it up with water right before bed. And that way when you wake up in the morning, you can just turn on your jet boil and add a little bit of snow. And voila. Or if you have some water left in there, pour that in, help it melt. And you should be good to go. I did bring a Pepsi, like I said, because I don't want to have to boil water repetitively. I'd rather just take a sip of Pepsi anytime. I know it will dehydrate me, but I'm going to test it out. Got my boots in here. I'm not going to do the lantern tonight because the lantern could cause the inner tent to sag. I said that in previous videos. So I'm just going to hang out. I don't want to say it because then I'll probably do it, but I don't want to make this a super long video. So I'm not going to record as much as I did the last couple times. But yeah, I'll still bring you back for a few updates. And I purposely didn't sleep well last night so I could be tired at a decent time today or tonight. That's another thing I forgot to do, and I probably will do it when I have to go out for a pee, is tension up the fly there so it's closer to the ground because I can feel a little bit of a draft coming in. This is not a 4-season tent. People in the UK use it as a 4-season tent, but their winters are fairly mild compared to ours. In Canada, if you want a true 4-season tent, pretty much anywhere in the world, but it really matters in Canada to have that fly touching the ground. I've picked perfect weather, besides the cold, but like wind and stuff like that is very minimal right now, and I did that on purpose because I do not know if this tent will handle like blizzard condition. I don't think it will. It'll just blow in through the bottom, and this whole vestibule will be covered in snow. Everything in it. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be taking it out into blizzards. And if I did ever have to use it in a blizzard-like condition, I would pile snow all along the edge of the fly so it wouldn't drift in. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. So, I discovered the foot warmer I put in no longer any good because it's not heating up at all, and my feet are kind of chilly. The end vent is open on both ends. Ooh, that's something I didn't do. Is open this vent. There we go. Okay, that's actually not too bad in here. I don't want to open the door to see what that little thermometer says, but it's pretty nice in here. if it does get too cold, guys, most sleeping bags have a draft collar. Cinch it up around your neck, and it totally works. Keeps all that nice toasty warm air inside your bag. I'm gonna pull out another foot warmer and see if that one's a dud or if it works too. Or doesn't work. Okay. So, I found out that this thing doesn't even display the temperature once it gets low enough. So, I tried, but it didn't work out. So, what should I do? Should I make a coffee? That means I gotta open this door. Do I want to do that? Probably not right now. I guess I'll just hang out for a little while longer then. Okay guys, just an update. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my camera. Oh yeah. Okay, just an update. My hands and feet are, or my hands are cold, my feet aren't. Those foot warmers worked perfectly. But my fingers are really cold because I'm sticking them out of my sleeping bag with my camera. This mat is working perfectly. I cannot feel conduction at all, which I figured as much, but yeah, it's really toasty warm. The only parts that are cold on me is my hands and my nose, and I'm gonna put my hands back in my sleeping bag right now because it's brutal. Okie dokie. I think I'm at the coldest point of the night. It's roughly around 10 o'clock. I came in here around 8:30. The forecast said midnight is supposed to be the coldest, so we'll see how it goes. If I bundle up in my sleeping bag and just don't pull my phone out, I should be fine. So I'm not going to get much footage, but there's not really much to see, so see you guys later on tonight, maybe. It is after 10, I know that, and it is so cold in here. It's definitely straining on the mental aspect where you just want to tap out and go in because you know, well, I know my warm bed is just like literally 20 feet away. And it's really, really, really hard to make myself endure this cold, but it's really not that bad. The sleeping pad is performing excellent. I feel no conduction at all. And it's minus 26. I just checked. And yeah, it's minus 26. In the next hour, it's supposed to be minus 27. And I do believe that's as low as it's going to get all night. But you never know. I should just plan for minus 28. Next time I do this, I am not putting the Teton bag on the outside. It's so much warmer when it's on the inside of that other cheap bag. Sorry for the focus, guys. I really can't. Like, my hands, I don't want to stick them out too far. So, that's, you're just peeking out of my sleeping bag right now. But I threw 2 foot warmers in. That one was a dud, but I threw 2 more in, and oh man, best investment ever. Even in a bug out scenario, like, it would heighten your morale at least for the first little while till you could build a shelter, a proper shelter with where you can have a fire inside. And yeah, they would, those first few nights, say it was like minus 20. Oh man, it would just boost your morale so much to have warm feet at night. Anybody who winter camps, just give them a go. See if you like it or not. I guarantee you'll like it. It's one of those things. It's just like you don't know how much. You don't know how fortunate you are because there's people. I don't know. There's people all over the world who are sleeping real rough. They got nowhere to go. They don't have stuff like this where they can even hide in that weather, and it just makes me feel horrible. My dad, He was one of those people. He never had a home. He lived on the streets, and he was from British Columbia. So the coldest the winters got there was -20, but it's a wet cold because it's right on the ocean. It's a different type of cold. And yeah, he lived under an overpass for a long time. Almost died a few times before he actually died. And yeah. So next time you see somebody sleeping rough on the side of the road, and this goes for me too, toss them what you got. Give them, just give them a little bit of joy in their day. It would go a long way. And they would appreciate it, I guarantee you. So I'm just gonna take a little break from sticking the camera out, and I might cook something right away here just for something to do. But yeah, let's all be grateful for what we have. Okay. Everybody tried to tell me, Alex, you need a pee bottle. Yes, I do. I really do. But the thing is, I am so worried that if I have one, it's gonna rupture or spill and wreck my sleeping bag. I guess I gotta get out of here. I don't want to. I really don't want to. I've been laying here for like a long time, just dreading the fact that I'm gonna have to open the door, put on my ice cold boots right at the coldest time of the night, pretty much. Uh, like even just sticking my hands out of my sleeping bag is brutal. I may be Canadian, but you never really get used to the Arctic cold. Uh, I guess you do compared to people who live in warmer climates. But I dare any of you to go stand outside or huddle in a tent on a cold night and tell me it's like pleasant. Winter camping is cozy. It's just extreme winter camping. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting too old for it, but my toes are a little bit cold. I got those heat warmers way down on my heel. I wish I put them on my toes, but when I tried to reach my arm down to the bottom of my feet, my arm started cramping, so I didn't really go for the toes. I just went for the heels. But I can readjust those if I get out. What else? If I'm getting up and getting out and getting cold, I might as well make something to warm me up, like uh probably oatmeal. I do have soup, but I don't want to I don't want to put soup in it and then later on want oatmeal, or this in the morning want oatmeal and then I can't eat it because my bowl tastes like chicken noodle soup. So my water, I don't know how it's doing. I haven't even opened this door. I was like trying to muster the courage. And then I was like mustering. Nope, no courage. No, I haven't even opened the door. I'm trying my hardest not to breathe into my sleeping bag. Um, Everything's warm except for my big toe on my left foot and my nose. And now my fingers since I popped the camera out of my sleeping bag. I gotta go pee. I don't even know if the jet boil will start. And I'll be so disappointed if I waste precious minutes that I could be in my sleeping bag trying to put that thing together to start it. Because those cans are cold. My fingers stuck to my spork. So it's cold. I think it's sitting around -27. If this is really loud, I apologize, but my microphone's like directly in front of my face. Okay, I'm gonna get up now. Yeah, okay. I haven't gotten out yet, but it's cold. Look at the ice coming off of here. So condensation has pretty much covered the whole roof of the inner tent and the side walls. Yeah, we got a lot of frost in here. I don't know. I'm going to leave the door open. I'm going to get out, leave the door open, have a smoke in the cold. I do have my mittens there, so my hands should be okay. Feet should be okay. I should be okay. And then I'm going to cook. And that'll give it time to defrost in here. Man, props to every person who is out there on the streets living in these conditions. Seriously, guys, like, we can't forget about those people. They didn't choose to be there. Some of them may have gotten into drugs and stuff like that and ended up that way. But they're people. And there's a lot of people suffering, so we really got to step it up. Especially if you call yourself Christian. And I'm talking to myself just as much as any of you. In fact, more so. But yeah, it's rough out there. I couldn't imagine doing this every day. And yeah, sad times. Look at that. Look at that. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go out and do my business. Oh, that is why I camped close to the house. It wasn't the sleeping pad. I made the mistake of using a new canister, and I screwed it on, and it shot pressurized, bitterly cold propane onto my finger. And man, oh man, it felt like it got bit by something. It was just outrageously painful. So I got a little bit of frostbite. I cannot feel the tip of my finger at the moment. And this is like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes after I did it. And it just burns. But like when I touch it, I can't feel it. It's like the skin there is dead. So I'm still going to camp the rest of the night. I'm just going to wait it out in the house until the bitter cold, like where it's like -27, -28. I'm going to wait until that's over with because that should be done around midnight. So this is why I test things out at home. It's extremely smart to do that anytime you're testing, or like anytime you buy new gear, try it out at home before you go far away where there is no house to walk into and like bandage yourself up or whatever. I don't even know what to do for frostbite. They say never freeze it twice. So if I thaw it out in here, just don't make that mistake again. This was all ice when I came in here. The whole top layer of this was ice. And there's still some ice in there. And that was from pouring it in and letting it sit just a couple minutes. So I also left the door on the tent open because of the frost that's all lining the inside of it. So hopefully that gets evaporated by the time I go back out there. But yeah, it's brutal cold out. I'm just gonna make my porridge in here. Yes, I tapped out, but hey, it's -27, so I'm not gonna feel like a Nancy. It's good to do this. It's good to learn these things close to home. And yeah. Okay, guys, I'll see you when I'm back out there. What a night, guys. What a night. I'm back in the tent, all snuggled in. It's snug as a bug in a rug. My finger feels better. The roof does not have condensation on it anymore. It did when I came in here. It was all frost. But since then, it disappeared. I don't understand why. Because I closed the door and everything. Maybe my body heat melted it and it just evaporated. But we're at the coldest point of the night, which is minus 27 Celsius. It's kind of like shifting between minus 7 and minus 28. So I'm going to try and actually sleep. And yeah, let's hope this thing isn't a giant icicle when I wake up. I got to be really, really careful not to breathe into my bag because it is a down bag. And it's apparently hydrophobic down, which means it can get wet and still maintain its loft. But I don't know if that's just like a gimmick or whatever. I don't know. I've never actually soaked this bag, and I don't want to. So we'll see how it goes. If anybody knows, would extreme temperatures like this be hard on the waterproofing of your tent? Okay, if you know anything about that, post a comment, please. I'd love to know because, yeah, I don't want to wreck this tent before rainy season. So I'd prefer to keep it waterproof. I could always nick wax it if it ever needs it, but I don't really want to do that, and I don't want to seam seal anything. So I'd prefer if somebody would give me some advice on that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna try and go to bed. Oh boy. I know it doesn't look like it, but the whole inner tent's soaked. Yeah, I noticed that, like, on the days where I camped and it was like minus 14, there was almost no condensation, and I had all 3 vents open, or 4, counting the little door vent. And tonight and the night that I did in minus 26, it was really bad for condensation. So it's like that sweet spot. I think once it gets too Arctic cold, it just condensates really bad. I don't understand it, because you'd think at like minus 14 my breath would remain liquid on the inner, at least. I know the fly, it's gonna turn to frost straight away because it's cold, but the inner, you'd just think there'd be more condensation at minus 14 than at minus 27. I don't know if it warmed up or not. Here, I'll check actually. I'm going to check. Okay, it's minus 19. That's the actual temperature, and with the wind chill, it's minus 26, or feels like minus 26. So it hasn't really warmed up at all. It's just as cold as it was earlier, but I feel so warm in this tent right now. I got a foot warmer in each sock. I put them on my toes. I'm sorry, guys. All you're looking at is the inner tent wall. There's really nothing to show you, so I'm sorry. In the summertime, we'll do more things that are a little more interesting. But this is survival mode. I'm in survival mode right now. I do not want to get cold again. And yeah, so I got the foot warmers on my feet. I got both sleeping bags pulled up to my neck. And I'm toasty. I got one mitten on. You can see my finger right there. I'm toasty. Like, I don't feel cold at all. The sleeping pad's rocking and rolling. I'm just really pleased with my setup. I don't really think I could do any better. I could, like, obviously have a better sleeping bag, but the 2 of these bags put together, they should be good to negative 30, negative 35, somewhere in between there. Because the red one, that is a minus 23 degrees Celsius bag. I do believe that's the survival rating, not the comfort rating. But, well, either way. And then the cheap bag that I got is rated to minus 12. Once again, survival rating, not comfort rating. I think, on both of those. So, It could be, they could be comfort ratings. I don't know. But the red bag, I paid $475 for that bag. So it better be a comfort rating of -23 for that price. And it's getting to be a few years old now. I think like 3 years old. Anyhow, I have 6 of them, and then I gave some of those away to family members. So yeah, I spent a lot of money on those bags, that's for sure. But yeah, I was looking at like Mountain Hardware sleeping bags rated to -35, I do believe, synthetic field insulation, and they were like $400 around there. So I wish I would have seen those when I bought all of those sleeping bags, but I didn't. What I really should have done was went for the US GI patrol bag and oh, I forget what they're called now. There was the patrol and the, oh, somebody will mention it. One of you guys who knows your military surplus. What is it? A patrol bag, and I can't remember the other one. The intermediate bag. There we go. Yeah. Now I'm thinking. Yeah. I should have got a whole bunch of those with a whole bunch of bivvies. I could have probably got 10 of them for the price that I paid for for these down sleeping bags, but I didn't do that. And they're really bulky. This thing crams down really small into my backpack, so it is what it is, guys. But I really don't think there's anything else I could change with my setup that would make it perform any better other than that. Of course, I really want a pillow, but yeah, I can make do without one. I got my my level 7 parka and pants. I got the pants I'm using as a pillow right now. Anyhow, guys, I thought I'd make one last little video here, just talking, so you guys have something to watch, because basically all I'm doing is laying in the tent, guys. I'm not doing anything excited. You're not or anything exciting. You are not missing anything. I'm literally laying here enjoying being warm, except for my nose. That's the only thing on me that's a little chilly is my nose right now, and it's -26. I know for a fact when I wake up, it's going to be snowing in here. That's how much frost is going to be on everything. You can see the little sparklies. I don't know if you'll be able to see those once I render it, because I'm using a free software and it renders in 1080p. So I don't know if you'll see those little crystals on there or not. But trust me, there's frost in here. I'm not going to cook tonight. I did have the fuel canister in my pocket, and I was going to leave it in there overnight to stay warm so I can make a coffee when I wake up. But it smelled like propane, so I was like, wait a minute, no, I'm not falling asleep with something that smells like a little hint of propane, because I don't want to die. So I put it outside the tent. So probably won't have a coffee in the morning. I'll probably wake up and there should be coffee made by the time I get back inside in the morning. My roommate always puts coffee on really, really early. Yeah, so enjoy a coffee indoors, come outside and pack this all up and spend the whole day drying it out, because everything takes a long time to dry out. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, good night, guys. Hopefully this is the last video and I can fall asleep. Okay, bye, guys. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we got some major frost going on here. Can you see this? It's all frost. The temperature's chilled out. It's actually minus 17 right now with a wind chill of minus 24. So that's not too bad. It's going down now. Hopefully this will all like evaporate by morning. But I don't know. I have no idea. I do have the vent open. Basically, I just started filming right now because the condensation is getting to my down sleeping bag. I can feel it like down on my legs. It's not lofting. The down's starting to not be so fluffy and more damp. If this was a traditional down sleeping bag, that would be dangerous and could wreck your sleeping bag. But they claim this is hydrophobic down and it can get wet and still maintain its ability to insulate. And yeah, I don't know if that's legit, like I said earlier, but I'm gonna have a smoke. We have no condensation. There is a little bit of ice there, and that's from me rubbing the top of the tent and it falling down. It's like snowing in the tent. So I'm just gonna open the door a little bit, not all the way. Ooh, the door's wet. As long as I feel warm, I'm just gonna keep going. Oops, sorry guys. I'm just gonna keep going until morning, and the worst case scenario, I just have to dry everything out for a very long time. I don't think I would be in danger of hypothermia or anything like that, because inside the cheap sleeping bag, which is inside this expensive one, it's dry. It's just I can feel the outside of this expensive one is damp, so it's not a good thing. I can't help but worry about the waterproofing and whether the cold affects that. I sure hope not, because I already spent too much on this tent. I'm gonna kind of sit up here while I'm having my smoke, because I'd be so sad if I dropped an ember on my brand new sleeping pad. I'd cry. I'd cry because my wife would kill me. Not literally, but I'd be sleeping on the couch for a long time. I'd be sleeping on the couch because I'd be scared to sleep in the bed. Nah, she's a nice lady. I wish she's really camera shy, so I don't put her on camera. But she's a really nice lady. Yep. Yes, she is. If I'm yelling, I'm sorry, guys. I got this silly... Here, I'll show you what I look like right now. I got the big puff suit jacket on, and then I got my hat with the fuzzy ear covers, and I like that. It's a shame that I gave my finger frostbite. Man, did that ever smart. That hurt. I really hope this Jetboil starts in the morning, because I don't like waking up without a morning coffee. And I don't really want to get out of this the second I wake up. I would prefer to sit in here and wake up a little bit before I went inside. I did make myself porridge when I was in the house. I didn't stay in there very long, just enough that I could like feel the tips of my fingers, eat some porridge, and have a smoke, and then I came back out. Robens, if you're watching, I like your Starlight one, and I hope that you make some 4-season tents, true 4-season tents with a fly that touches the ground. I would be very interested in using one of those tents. You didn't see that. Nobody's seen it. Nope. I just barely touched the fly with the edge of my cigarette. This is why you don't smoke in your tent. That is a reason why. Especially if you're me, because I am super clumsy. Everybody, don't underestimate your local dollar store. I found this pouch, I don't know, a year and some ago at a dollar store for $1. I like that little pouch. It's stayed on my Pintler ever since. And I'm not going to get rid of it. It's a handy little pouch. It's stretchy. It's got decent buckle on it. So always keep your eye open at the dollar store. You never know what you're going to find. And that thing is just as nice a quality as pouches that actually it's better quality than some of the pouches I spent $40 on. So you never know. I'm just going to finish my smoke and then we'll get tucked back in. It should be like one something, maybe getting close to 2. Yeah, it's 20 minutes after 1. That's my problem though. When I'm in cold like this, I can't fall asleep even if I'm comfortable in my sleeping bag. I just can't fall asleep. Yeah, I've always been a night owl. Probably always will be a night owl. I've been that way ever since I was young. My grandpa, he said that I was really hard to put to sleep. I would lay there in the dark until like 5 in the morning. Definitely feeling the cold on my fingers. Man, you don't notice it until you take your hands out. I had my hands in my sleeping bag and they were just right toasty warm. I was perfectly comfortable. And because of this, I'm freezing my fingers off. Does that make any sense? Yeah. I do have a ground tarp, better than this one, but I figured use this one because it gives me a little bit of barrier between the snow and the bottom of the tent. The ground tarp I wanted to use was my super thin one, but it's absolutely massive. It's overkill for this tent body, so I decided not to use it and use the thicker one. If I wanted to get a little more R value out of my pad, I could put one of those reflective mats underneath it. The only spot that is remotely chilly is where that pump is, because I don't think there's any insulation in that spot. The insulation on this pad is kind of cool. It's laminated to the bottom and the top, so when you inflate it, it kind of opens up like an accordion and gives you that style of insulation throughout the baffles, which is really neat. It's a warm pad. I'm feeling toasty. I don't feel the ground at all. Whereas on my climate, I don't think like, even if I was tired, I don't think I would get any sleep on a night like tonight. But this is keeping me nice and insulated from the ground. So I'm super impressed. I can't even imagine what a pad with like 7 or an 8 R value would be like. That just, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna camp anymore in temperatures like this. It's not really fun, and I don't really have much to show you because I can't go outside. Well, I can if I want to freeze. I can't cook, so it's just me rambling in a tent. So, if that interests you guys, all good on you. But I don't know. I can't wait for spring. I can't wait for summer. Then you guys can come along. We'll take you camping. I want to do some solo stuff and some campground stuff with the family. And I'll have to learn how to blur people out because lots of my family members don't like being on camera. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go finish my smoke and get tucked back in. Maybe there will be more videos tonight. Maybe there won't be. Bye. Okay. I don't know if it's because the top of the sleeping pad is cold, like the top part that I'm laying on. I don't know if it's just that getting cold because I am a side sleeper, so I'm not covering the whole surface of the pad and keeping it warm with my body heat. So I don't know if it's that or whether I'm actually feeling conduction. The temperature is like lower, or well, higher, I guess. You know what I mean. It's like minus 24, and I feel a little chilly where I'm laying. I don't know if it's because the top of the pad's partially exposed and is just getting cold, or whether it's actually conduction sucking my heat through the insulation. It is only rated to negative 25, but I pushed that climate way, way low, like into the 30s low. Definitely 30. And that had an R value of 4.4. This has an R value of 6. So I should not be feeling conduction at minus 24. And it was minus 27 earlier, and I did not feel conduction at all. I was toasty warm. So I'm just wondering if it's the top surface of the pad being cold just from not being laid on. So that's my update. Can't fall asleep. I'm laying here just staring off at the roof. But it's pretty much like a little freezer in here. My hands are cold the second I take them out of my sleeping bag. And yeah. If this pad is allowing the ground to suck a little heat from me, next time I'm gonna try one of those reflective pads and just see if that helps. I know that you can stack pads and add the R values together. So if I took a closed cell foam pad with an R value of 2, that would give me an R value of 8. So maybe I'm going to try that on another night. It's something to test out. I wanted to put this thing through its paces on purpose tonight so I know in worst case scenario it hits say 28 while I'm way out in the middle of nowhere. It's not enough conduction or coldness to like kill me or give me hypothermia. It's just an uncomfortable kind of like just a little chill. And I don't know what it is. If any of you know how to isolate what it could be, whether it's conduction or just the cold top of the pad, shoot me a comment. Okay, guys. It's roughly around 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna keep on trying to go to sleep. So I figured out what it was. My butt was hanging over the edge of the sleeping pad because my sleeping pad has slidden against the outer wall. So I was laying kind of on the edge of the sleeping bag and my butt was hanging off and it was getting cold. Conduction can get you even if you're not touching the ground. Not too many people know that, but it can, because that cold air from the ground Just slurps that heat. I stuck a hand warmer in my back pocket. I took it out of my sock and I put it in my back pocket. Another update is my sleeping bag. I am using my neck baffle. I got cinched around my neck, nice and tight. I got my hood nice and tight with my pants in the hood. Those Equix pants. They're heavily insulated, so they keep my head from getting too cold where I'm laying. My head's not that big that it compresses it all the way. So I'm cinched up. I'm toasty warm now. Good night, y'all. Okay, guys. I'm awake. I had an alright sleep. I don't know what time I fell asleep. And I lost my headlamp right now. Like, it's not lost. I just don't know where it is. Oh, it might be on my hood. We got quite a bit of condensation. Quite a bit, yeah. It's snowing in here. My gear's soaked from condensation. And we got my knee is cold. I don't know if it's just the bag not having enough loft anymore to keep me warm. Or I'm sorry, it's dark. I don't know where my headlamp is. Here, I'll come back. Okay, I'm back, guys. I was really disorganized. Yeah, I know why my knee's aching, and it's got nothing to do with the sleeping pad. It is, my sleeping bag is really damp. There's a lot of, ice on the top of this tent, and my sleeping bag is no exception. I did fall asleep. I think I slept for like 3 hours. Here, hold on. What time is it? I can't check. It's not letting me check. It's got to be like 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's not cold in here at all. But yeah, that's what the ceiling looks like. Even the screen. Look at the screen there. So I have a frozen 10 to air out this morning. I think I'm gonna call it quits in here for now. Like, it is 5:30. I'll have a smoke, wake up. But I don't want to be drawing gear up until like midnight the next night. So, and I probably will be anyways. I'm gonna have a smoke, go inside, warm up a little, maybe crash on the couch so I don't sleep in. Come back out here, pack everything up, and start thawing it out. This was a more brutal night than the first night that I recorded of me camping in -26, because this time around my knees started aching. It's not through the sleeping pad. I do believe the sleeping pad could use a little more air just to help it out a little, because my hip is kind of chilly, and I don't know
if it's actually through the sleeping pad or whether just the top of the pad is cold or wet. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a smoke. Sorry. See how my bag zipped open? Right where it's zipped open down here is where I feel cold. But I feel cold on the mat, so I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Huh. Let's check the temperature. So it's 10 degrees Celsius with a wind chill of -17 right now. Okay. Now I'm gonna have my smoke. And then get out of this icicle, call a tent. Yeah, it's too wet in here. I'm gonna get out soon after the smoke. Sorry, guys. I'm not leaving because of the cold. I'm leaving because of the wet. So, the little heat warmers are still working on my knees, though. I put one in between my knees. Yeah. Oh, wow. This tent's frozen solid. Next time, I'm going to stick it in a more exposed spot so there's a little bit of wind coming through it. I could make a coffee. I could. Next time I do -27 again, which probably won't be till next winter, because spring's on its way. But next time I do this, I'm definitely gonna try a reflective pad under this mat and see if I still feel like I'm getting cold spots. Cause yeah, my hip feels cold where it's like laying on the mat. I don't know if it's the surface of the mat or whether it's actually conduction. Sorry, guys. Sorry I'm not more alert to talk to you. Huh. Should I make a coffee? If the jet boil will even start? I don't know. I'm pretty soggy. Like, yeah. I might just go in. Catch what is remaining of the sleep I'm gonna get tonight. Well, we tested the pad. It did do good in that Arctic cold, and then in the middle of the night, from like 1 on, I felt cold spots, or else the surface, so I'm not too sure. I think I'm just gonna use it, like when I go on my hike, I'm just gonna use it with a little reflective piece of insulation between me and the ground. Okay, I'll come back in a bit. Okay, time to get out. if the tent wasn't so frozen, I'm pretty sure I could ride it out till dawn. But yeah, she's pretty frozen. Oh, now to figure out how to get out of here without making a big mess. Got a little bit of sag in the tent. Nothing crazy, but I'm going in. It is cold out once I got out of the tent, and I know why my leg was aching and my hip was aching, and that's because I fell asleep on one of those little heat warmers, and it made me sweat. And I'm wearing cotton jeans. I knew that was a bad idea, but I did it anyway. Okay. Okay, I gotta be quiet. Every kid in the house is sleeping, and I want to keep it that way. If you like the video, click like. If you want to share, hit share. Comment down below, and subscribe for more. Okay, see you guys. Bye. Okay, I've been in for like 5 minutes, and it's 6 o'clock now, so that's just a time reference for you. I must have got like 3 hours sleep, but I'm gonna go head back to bed for a couple hours in my nice warm bed. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to thawing that tent out and all my gear. But it is what it is, guys. Okay. Good night.